Welcome to the NoLife Gaming Show. I'm your host, Wayne Walker. Tonight we're going to be talking about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We're going to be talking about how Nintendo is set for summer release. They have the new 2DS XL coming out. And we have a couple reviews that we're going to get into. One being Mario Kart, another being Persona 5. And a bunch more news topics, as well as deeper gaming topics we're going to get into. This gaming show is going to be more focused on kind of just pitching you what's out there in more of a community aspect and more of a straightforward aspect. We're going to focus heavily on gameplay. That way, when you listen to us talk about these topics and these games, we're going to feature all the gameplay for the games that we're talking about. That way, you don't have to look at our faces. You can watch what the game looks like, how it plays, and let's get into it. So I'm going to bring on the other co-hosts for this evening. What's up, dudes?
All right, guys, my name's Jerry. Pretty much play a lot of video games. I'll be the resident kind of Blizzard dick sucker.
Nice. Blizzard?
Yeah.
Is that your go-to?
Going way back. I don't know, dude. Actually, if I'm being honest, Blizzard's been pissing me off lately because they're kind of going down that they're liking Riot structure a little bit too much. But I like old Blizzard.
Yeah, we can actually talk about that later. But yeah, they are just like structuring their whole model after Riot right now. But yeah, my name's Andrew. I also play a lot of fucking video games. Yeah, probably shouldn't have cussed right there. My bad.
I'll bleep it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly, man. The magic of editing. I also play a lot of video games. I I play a lot of RPGs, and I also play, a fair amount of Blizzard games as well.
I'm Doobie. I am your resident Nintendo nerd. So all things Nintendo, I'm a huge fanboy. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I can see their flaws. I know the Wii U was a failure, but the Switch, I'm excited. I got mine. I'm buying a lot of games for it. You'll see a lot of content of the Switch from me. And that, I'm Japanese otaku culture nerd, so who's your anime waifu?
I think we've got a pretty nice, diverse panel here. Like, we cover pretty much everything.
We just need somebody to play sports games.
Well, I play sports games. I play literally every fucking sports games.
Yeah.
I'm more of like the AAA kind of. I like more AAA titles. Ubisoft, EA. I don't know, like bigger kind of theatrical titles. We got the Blizzard guy. We got the esports guy. We got the fucking otaku waifu guy. I mean, we're good to go. We need an indie guy though. I think we can all kind of divvy that up.
Yeah,
I like indies. I think the Switch is going to be a great indie machine, so I'll be playing a lot of indies on there.
I think it's the perfect indie machine. Like, there hasn't been a better indie machine.
Outside of PC, yeah.
Well, I was gonna say it's the best like indie machine since the 3DS.
3DS had a lot of indie titles. I never played the 3DS.
It didn't have like a huge amount, but it was a great platform for them. And I think the Switch can definitely take that spot.
Could you download indie titles onto it?
It had Shovel Knight.
It had Shovel Knight?
It's got Mighty Number 9. Did it have Mighty Number 9, I think? Yeah. It wasn't a great game, but I mean, it was on.
Well, no, it's once they rolled out the whole eStore a lot, you could find a lot more stuff on it that are like just indie titles. Like anyone can pretty much put something on it if they really want to try hard enough to.
Yeah,
just
it's not like
if people want to go through that effort.
Not like Steam Greenlight or anything, but yeah.
I mean, Nintendo's big on they call it Nindies. That's their whole indie division.
Fucking terrible name.
That is, yeah.
We're talking about the same company that has the new 2DS XL.
Yeah.
The new Nintendo 3DS XL. I'm waiting for the new Nintendo Switch XL. When's that gonna happen?
They're just gonna add one extra little dongle button up in the corner. That's about it.
I think
add a little C-stick to it.
We might get into it in the news topics, but I think there's like a new mini Switch that someone was talking about. Have you seen that yet?
I saw the rumors that by 2019, that's a potential next development. I can see that maybe taking over the 3DS when the 3DS finally dies in 2 years.
Yeah, I can see that. I was gonna say we had to cut all production of the NES Classic, so we can bring you the mini Switch.
Hey man, the rumors on the SNES Mini, I'm excited
Yeah.
about that too.
Let's be real though. In 2 years, Nintendo will probably just launch a whole nother new console instead of doing the Switch Mini.
I'm down. I'm down for.
Well, I can see them doing a new version of the Switch every couple of years because it's a really great tablet, but the problem is it's a tablet. Like that's something you have to kind of upgrade, like update consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as technology increases over time.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. We'll definitely see them expand on something. This is a company that takes one idea and runs with it. When the DS came out with the dual screens, that has lasted from the 3DS. The same similar concept is applied to the Wii U.
Yeah.
So they run with their ideas and get their money's worth out of them.
Well, let's jump into the news. Might as well just jump into the news for the week and start off with the 2DS XL. 2DS XL. Is that the full name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new
The new
2DS.
Nintendo 2DS XL, I think, is the full name.
Yeah.
It's so terrible. The Japanese and name scheming, it seems to be there's like a disconnect there. They're not very good at naming things. What makes this better than the last one, which was what, the 2DS?
Well,
No, there was a 2D. Yeah, well, there was a 2DS. Then there was the new 3DS. The new 2DS XL is a new 3DS XL, just without the 3D.
Oh, okay.
So that's what was differentiating mostly between the 3DS and the 2DS. The 2DS doesn't have the 3D capabilities that the 3DS does.
I
But
see.
if you're like me and a lot of some other people, I hate 3D games, and I think they're really kind of tacky and gimmicky. So I was actually always a fan of the 2DS because also that's something I want to talk about is it's $150. That's kind of nuts to me. Like you can buy a new 3DS for not even $50 more. Sometimes they go on sale for $100.
Yeah.
And it's like the point of the 2DS was also like, yeah, it's a fucking $80. It's an $80 handhold that can play any 3DS game. And now the new one's marked at $150. That makes it a harder sale to me personally.
Well, that is a lot of money, but
I feel like it's one of those things though that's going to come where a parent's going to see, all right, the Switch is $300. The new Nintendo 2DS XL is $150. It might be a cheaper option for their kid than going for the full $300 Switch.
I agree with that. But at the same time, to me, it's just like if I want to pay $150, I'd just rather buy a Switch when there's already the 2DS as that budget. I mean, it's $80. You can buy just the regular 2DS. It is clunky. It is a really stupid design, but you can buy that will still play all of the games. And you can buy that, and you can buy 3 or 4 games for the same price, and your kid's set.
yeah.
I mean, there's a few games I think that run on only the new ones. I know the Xenoblade Chronicles only runs on the new Nintendo 3DS and on the new Nintendo 2DS as well, the new one coming out. You can't play that on the older 3DSs. They're not powerful enough.
Yeah, but the problem is there's really few games.
Yeah,
like that's the biggest problem with the new 3DS. Is it's really cool that they do have the more power. No one's taking advantage of it.
No, there's nothing coming out for it.
I do like how slick it looks. I will say that.
It looks
nice.
great.
Yeah, aesthetically, it looks really great.
Yeah, I will say too that they did an excellent job on the Switch. The Switch looks amazing.
The Switch does, yeah. I was gonna say too, as long with the 2DS XL looking good, it's also the first 2DS that actually has the full 3DS screen size.
Oh, nice.
It's the clamshell design too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It is a full clamshell, and it's the full 3DS sized screens instead of the 2DS had a smaller screen and a smaller touch screen.
How many versions of there out there? There was the Nintendo DS. Then there was the Nintendo 3DS. Did that come after? Then the XL. Then the new 3DS.
There was the 3DS XL, new 3DS, new 3DS XL, 2DS, now new 2DS XL.
Don't forget DSi.
And
then
that,
the
yep.
SI.
So
Mhm.
8, 7, 8.
Why? Like,
Yeah.
why?
I mean, they held
They sell
the-
like hotcakes in Japan, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Japan's
that's
all about portability. So
yeah. Japan's main market now is all handheld. That's their main market in Japan for gaming. It's just handheld gaming.
look at the
Like-
Vita. The Vita sells really well in Japan. US, it can't hold a candle to the 3DS. You know,
Yeah.
Nintendo's got that stranglehold in America on mobile gaming. Well, not mobile gaming because phone games are the rage a lot of these days. But in terms of like console style handheld gaming, Nintendo's really owned it in America.
Yeah, they did. And actually, to even tie it to mobile gaming, they're not doing bad there either now.
Dude,
I'm a big fan of the Fire Emblem game they got on there. I play that a lot.
It's really good, and actually interesting news related to that. That actually has now outsold the Mario Run,
Oh,
which
really?
I think is interesting. Like that game's made more money as a free to play game versus the freemium that's already made more money.
have you played that yet?
Which one? The Fire
Mario?
Emblem?
No, Mario.
I played that, but honestly, I like Fire Emblem a lot more.
Yeah, Mario
It's a-
Run is. I don't think it's very good.
It sounds like a
It's all right.
reskin or temple run. Is that what it is? A reskin
I-
temple run?
No, it's not. I wouldn't say that, but it's definitely like. What are those games called? I guess side-scrolling
Auto
on
scroller.
rails.
Oh,
It's an
yeah.
auto scroller, really.
It's a
I mean,
platformer on rails, like a 2D
Oh, okay,
platformer
yeah.
on rails.
Yeah, auto scroller. Yeah.
It's pretty cool though. It's just not. I don't know. They could
it's
It's
not
one of those
worth
like-
the money.
Like you just tap the screen to jump,
jump.
and that's about it.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
much. All right. Let's move on to our next topic. I'm not really sure. Let's read. Someone read off number 1. I'm not really sure what this is supposed to say here. Patrice Delist.
Oh, okay. I'll talk about it then.
Go ahead.
All right. So, Patrice Deluxe, he created the Assassin's Creed IP, the whole Assassin's Creed franchise, and him and Ubisoft have been having a falling out lately. He left Ubisoft recently, and he also won the right. He was in development of his newer franchise, or his newer IP was called 1666 Amsterdam, and he actually sued Ubisoft and won the rights to make the game. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. If you're interested in Assassin's Creed, then might look into that. He went on record and he said, or at least on the website, which is GameSpot, by the way, he said that the game, it's going to be about the devil in us, and we're all good guys, but sometimes we're not.
That quote just
Yeah, dude, that's
10 out
direct
of
quote.
10. 10 out of 10 quote right there. God
man.
damn, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's direct quote. Like that's
I know.
how he described the game, and I thought it was kind of interesting.
He makes
I guess.
interesting games. He doesn't do PR. I'll put it that way.
What was the falling out? My biggest struggle with being in an organization is that I was the guy at the end or in the middle. Also, I was the guy doing interviews like what we're doing right now, and I had to come up with political lying, and I would receive comments and decisions made by other people and not me, because it's all compromising when you're in a big organization somehow. And he keeps going. And as my role as creative director, it's tough to live by the decisions of others when being in front of the camera or Skype. And I said, I'm not really a good liar, so I can't do it anymore. He's creative director, and they're making him do a bunch of PR stuff, and
Yeah.
he's just not good at it. So
Yeah, I guess that's the thing.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Assassin's Creed. That's one AAA title, that one AAA franchise that I did not get into. I didn't.
First two were fun.
Assassin's Creed 2, loved that game. That was the characters were fantastic in that game. I think that's why I liked it so much.
Yeah, I had fun with the first two, and then it turned into Call of Duty for me.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
The whole. I think the yearly release thing, which I think, if we go back and think about it, I think that started with Tony Hawk Pro Skater. If you guys remember that, like
Yeah.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater, it had like the first one, and then a couple years later, you had the second one, and then then you had like
THPS 2, 3.
then you had Underground.
Thug. Yeah,
Well,
No matter what, though,
all the
their
sports
soundtracks
games
were
do
always
that.
good.
I was gonna say, yeah, dude, sports games were doing that even before that, though.
Madden.
They're the worst at fucking releasing games like that. It's terrible. When are they just
every
going to
year,
release
baby.
one game for the platform and then just constantly update it through? I would pay to update it, if you get a new roster, maybe some
Yeah,
new modes or something.
That's what
When
I said.
it
but,
stops selling $60 a copy every year.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess
yeah,
It's
that
up to the
money rolls in.
consumer. It's really up to the consumer to make that change, and unfortunately, a lot of people will
You can't.
continue to buy it.
There's no other franchise with that license, the NFL license. They have the exclusive license to it. So then they have the exclusive license to I think almost all the sports games except for NBA. I think what is it? The 2K.
2K.
MLB too.
I don't know if
There's
they have
still some other-
exclusive. Oh
There's,
yeah,
still,
MLB.
there's still some other MLB games.
Yeah, the
Used to have
show.
that,
The show has the exclusive, I think.
Remember the old ESPN football game that had the first-person mode?
What was that? Game Day or some shit? Game Day?
Then there was
I don't even
the old
remember,
2K series of sports games. There were some good ones there.
Dude, the 2K football games I thought were better than the Madden. I liked them so much more. And then Madden came in, EA came in, bought it all out.
What was that sports game with the fucking first-person football? I want to say it was Game Day.
Blitz.
NFL
No,
Blitz. No.
Blitz,
Blitz was our arcade.
Yeah.
Oh, I know,
game,
but
which
Blitz
so
was
much fun.
great.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I actually played that the most out of any sports game.
I'm putting up some footage of of what is this? NFL Game Day 2004. Damn.
I don't know, I
man.
kind of wish the head coach series of games would come back.
Oh, no.
Like I still
No.
want a good NFL head coach like there is championship manager.
Well,
Like
you can
football
always.
championship manager.
I was about to say you can always download Football Manager on Steam if you can pretend soccer's football.
Yeah. Well, no, because that's the only reason why I ever buy Madden games nowadays is like
You like that
I
franchise
like
mode?
franchise mode. Yeah, I've always pretty much have. Like I did the same thing with hockey.
Yeah.
Like I love those kinds of games, but it's just like after a while the gameplay is so fucking repetitive that once you get good at it, it's just kind of like, yeah, I'm dumb, dude.
You gotta.
I just want to make the best team, but
It's all
I'm
about
dumb.
online, dude. It's all about online. That's
Even
the only
then,
reason
it
why
just
I play
gets-
it.
It's
I mean-
too repetitive after a while.
They got
But I should have talked because I have like 1,500 hours in Counter Strike.
And fucking Diablo, which is the fucking most repetitive game in the world.
No, dude, Path of Exile, buddy.
same difference.
Yeah, dude, I'm the grinder.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I mean, if you're not like, there's like a progression in those games, right?
Yeah.
When you play online and you play Madden, the only progression is really just personal, like you getting better at it. And
Yeah.
still, there's people out there that fucking put so many hours in that game. They know all the plays. They know all the backup plays to it. They know how to counter everything. They know, I don't know. They're just so much better than you that it almost makes it not that fun. Like when you play someone that's really good at Madden, you're just like, this sucks. I don't even want to play this anymore. And you have to wait and like constantly you're slamming the X button trying to hurry up the game, and they're just taking their sweet ass time picking plays. That part of it, I can see where that repetitiveness kind of comes into play. All right, next topic. That's weird. Assassin's Creed creator. Is he like a big name? This Patrice Delsilts?
Well, I mean, if he
never
created
heard him
Assassin's
before.
Creed, but
Yeah, but he's not like I don't know, like an Ed Boon or
Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, I mean,
Hideo
Kojima.
Assassin's Creed is a fucking gigantic franchise. They have a movie coming out now, but I don't really. He's not. I guess he's not really. I don't know. Not as big as those other guys. Maybe the game's not that influential. Maybe that's what it is. But I don't know.
The movie came out. It
Oh, it
wasn't
already
very
came out?
good. Yeah, it wasn't very good.
When did it come out?
Got November.
Yeah, it must have not have been good.
It was
'cause
panned.
I didn't even know it came out.
It got, and I'd said I like Michael Fassbender, but it got panned.
Well, it happens. Happens to the best of them. All right, so let's go back to Mario Kart real quick. This is Nintendo's first UK #1 since 2011, which is pretty big.
It's
pretty
actually,
impressive.
I don't know, I'm really surprised it outsold Breath of the Wild.
That's crazy.
Well, no,
To
that's
me.
crazy to me because the Switch version of Breath of the Wild still outsold the amount of fucking Switches that have been sold.
It has 5% attach rate.
Yeah.
10%, something like that. It's ridiculous.
And then Mario Kart just outsold that. Like, what the fuck?
So how is that possible? How is that possible?
People can't get Switches yet, but they're still buying the games because they're gonna buy a Switch. They just haven't been able to get one yet.
I think
That many people have still been even buying the fucking game.
I think
crazy.
Nintendo has actually rolled out like a new wave of Switches. Like they just put them on planes yesterday or something like that.
They've been putting them on the planes, I think, for the last couple of weeks. They upped production. They said they were going to do 2 million in March. The numbers came out that they shipped, I think, like 2.4, somewhere around there, that they shipped. So they have increased production. But, I mean, I think a lot of people also bought extra copies of Breath of the Wild. I think some people probably bought special editions and not opened them.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of people did that.
I opened mine.
Mine. Well, they buy the collector's edition, just keep it so it's mint, and then buy a regular version to actually play it. Yeah, I know a couple of people who did that. But then, still, that doesn't.
That's such a niche market,
right?
Yeah, so there was no gold version, was there? There was no gold.
There was There was a limited edition, and there was like a Master Sword statue edition that I didn't go for because. The hell am I gonna? I don't have a place to put a Master Sword statue. I got enough stuff.
Dude, I already got it in what's the game? It's in my room in New Leaf.
Oh.
Just nice. got the little Master Sword, in Animal Crossing New Leaf. It's already there. I don't need a real one.
Oh, Animal Crossing, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I got it when it said New Leaf. I mean, it's the thing with Mario Kart 8, why it's at the top. I mean, it's the second game for the system. You have the system, you've got this. Now you've got your multiplayer game. This is your multiplayer game, and it's the game that Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U was fantastic. It was an amazing game, but nobody played it because it only sold 13 million Wii U's.
Yeah.
Well, what, dude? You mean your 1-2 Switch isn't your multiplayer game?
No, that game doesn't even deserve a $20 price tag.
I will say, Mario Kart 8, right? When I fired it up, because the biggest problem I have with the Switch, I shouldn't say it's a problem. The biggest concern I had with the Switch was frame rate, and especially Mario Kart running at 1080p. I'm thinking this is a fast game. There's a lot of shit going on. It looks really good. How is the frame rate going to be playing handheld? How is it going to be on the Switch? Dude, it runs at a locked 60 frames per second. I had zero dips. I had nothing. It just 60 frames, 1080p Switch is killing it. This is a really powerful machine. I mean, the NVIDIA Tegra chip that's in here, it's just so good. It is so good. I would love for every platform to utilize this technology and have like a fucking PlayStation Switch or Xbox Switch.
Well,
I mean, they've got the patent.
Yeah, the K1 there, dude. That's what's in the NVIDIA Shield. Like, as long as you have an NVIDIA graphics card, you can literally stream your whatever game you can play on your computer to it, and it will be able to play it.
Yeah, but that's you're streaming it.
True, but
online.
I mean, if it's good enough to stream 4K, no problem. That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things to take away is that Nintendo actively working with other companies, actively working with Unreal Engine 4, actively accepting all of these new things. The Wii U was a necessary failure. It had to happen. It had to suck. Because it showed them that they had to embrace new ideas, and I think a lot of it's from the youth. There's a big youth upbringing.
I mean, especially that, but I mean, it came after the Wii. Anything after the Wii was going to be a failure.
Well, how did the Wii sell?
The Wii sold over 100 million.
Yeah, the Wii is actually the top sold console ever.
Really?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So literally, I mean, not even the PlayStation 2, not even the nothing. It is the top sold console ever.
Oh, it says
so no matter what, it was the next thing was not going to do as well.
The Wii sales figure is here. I got the stats right here. Oh shit, where'd they go? Okay, hold on a second. It says the Wii sold 101.63 million units.
That's ridiculous.
Xbox 360 84, PlayStation 3 more than 83.8 million. That's crazy. I didn't know it sold that well. I did not know it sold that well.
You got to remember that it was marketed towards the whole family and the more casual aspect, so anybody could have bought into it. And
it was cheap.
It was cheap.
Cheaper. Yep.
And it came bundled with Wii Sports.
Yeah,
And
it came bundled with things you could play instantly.
You know, like
Yeah.
1-2 Switch should have been freaking bundled with the Switch.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I bought a
Might have
bundle.
gone, might have been a little bit better.
I bought a bundle, but it was extra money. Like it didn't give you any deals. But
I don't know.
I think
I'm
if
waiting
they,
for Splatoon.
yeah, that one's gonna be dope. But I think the Switch has using it as like this indie platform, because that's really where I'm excited about. I've never played Shovel Knight before, and when I fucking fired up Shovel Knight, I just ran right through it because I had so much fun with it. It's such a great game, and then I realized this is the potential of this device is its portability and the fact that you can put any kind of indie game on here. You have power, like the amount of power that's in it is just great. It's like a PS3, like lower end PS3 games. It'll look amazing. I'm so surprised that Mario Kart is running at 60 frames per second. Just dead. It just goes. It's crazy.
Dude, I mean, imagine playing like Bastion on that series of games.
Imagine playing
Like, that's
Persona.
perfect.
Persona
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
Persona 5 Golden, if it comes to the Vita, I would love if Nintendo somehow, some way, swing something with Atlas, work with that connection they got with SMP and be like, hey, put Persona 5 Golden on the Switch.
Does Persona have like a license with PlayStation? You would
I've
so.
looked online, but I haven't found anything that says they're exclusive.
Yeah, maybe it's just that's what sells in Japan, so that's why.
Now
the
the Switch is out there, and I mean the Switch is a console that really was made for Japan.
It's made.
Yeah.
It was
The
made
world,
for no.
the world is second.
It was
Japan
made.
number one.
It was made
Yeah.
for Persona 5. The Switch was made for that game. I'm
I
just
mean, dude,
pissed it's
that's
not.
why-
Getting grinded
yeah.
done on the go, man.
That's why I wrote that article. It's like, no, it was made for the handheld console in Japan.
Dude,
And it's
imagine
fantastic, but it's like that's what it was made for.
like speaking to you. Imagine fucking Diablo 3 on the Switch, because it would run beautifully. That's a
probably.
game that could run beautifully on the Switch, and that would be just
And
an
it would
immense
be
selling
really
game.
awesome, especially when you can just, with the Switch, I mean, honestly, the biggest thing I love about the Switch is that you can just turn it on and get into a game like that.
Yeah, that's
Like,
one of the
that's
best parts about it.
huge.
It's literally there's no downtime. You press a button and you're in, which
The
is crazy.
loading screens for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe compared to like the original Mario Kart 8 are so much faster. It's so much better.
Really? Because I thought the loading screens were a little long on Mario Kart.
You play Mario Kart 8 and Smash on the Wii U. I put my the gamepad down for like a minute, come back, and I'm still waiting for it to load sometimes.
Oh wow.
The loading
Wow.
times were really bad.
Well, they're improved. I think what is it about? It's about a minute, maybe a little less to get into a game on Mario Kart, but when you fire it up, I mean, you're right in. Like even with Zelda, you press a button, you're right in the middle of Zelda, which is huge. Like you were saying, that's a big thing because that downtime sucks.
And then you could just take it with you.
Like the 3DS, I remember my brother had one, and you would turn it on. It would take forever to turn on, and by the time
Yeah,
you're ready to
some
go,
of 'em,
you know, you might not have enough time to play. This is the perfect device to fucking. You're on the train real quick, you fire it up, you play a real quick match of Mario Kart on the go. Boom, you're good to go.
Nintendo, like, please just do me a solid. Hyrule Warriors. Please put that on the Switch.
Hyrule Warriors.
Fire Emblem Warriors. I already got mine like pre-ordered. I'm looking forward to that.
No, dude. I want Hyrule Warriors. I want that stupid game that's Dynasty Warriors that I'm gonna sink 500 fucking hours into.
Just straight beat them up.
Yep.
All right, next topic. For Honor, Shinobi and Centurion revealed for Season 2. Shadow and Might coming May 16th. Have you guys played For Honor yet?
I have not. I really wanted to, and I was really interested in it because it had kind of that Dark Souls PvP feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard that the netcode is actually really bad on it, and that's what actually kept me from playing the game. Then it's an Ubisoft game, and I don't really like Ubisoft.
It's not. The netcode isn't terrible. It's not too bad. I will say too, the Mario Kart netcode is fucking atrocious right now.
Well, that's Nintendo.
Yeah. Wait until the
They've
paid
never
servers.
been that great for that.
Yeah, they need to that needs to chill out because it's rough sometimes, man. It gets so frustrating when you're in first place with like 1 out of every 100 games, and then the fucking connection drops, and you're just like, nah. But For Honor, I loved For Honor when it first came out. This game, I haven't played it since maybe I played for about a month, and then I haven't played since.
It's the flavor of the month, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of that, but the thing that made me not play it was I was hearing like people like after a week or so, like they basically figured out the combos for it, and with that game, apparently, like if you figure out the combos, like there's nothing the other person can do, and vice versa. It's just a combo game. And when it sounded to me like it had kind of a lower skill ceiling, if that makes sense. Like there was basically, just because of the mechanics of it, you could only do so much, and then it just turned into rock, paper, scissors, and I was like, play Chivalry.
No,
any proper patches for it?
No, I think that it's not that unbalanced. It's pretty good.
I don't think it was unbalanced, is what I heard. It was just like,
no, I think
it was combo based more so than just like you could once you figure out the combos, it just turns into both of you are going to be doing those combos for forever.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Then someone will finally get a lucky hit in to actually win.
No, there's definitely like certain heroes. There's a certain combo that if you do it, that gives you like the maximum damage. But the thing is, like, they can parry and block, and that kind of switches your shit up a little bit. But your goal is to try to lock into that combo.
Yeah,
and like I said, it just gets repetitive after some time.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to explain. Where that kind of turned me off once I heard that. Where it was just kind of like, no, you're just trying to do this one combo.
Yeah,
and like
I think
that kind of, I'm not a huge fan of that. If there's not enough variation to like do cool, crazy, fun stuff.
Yeah, I think the main skill cap in that game, or the main skill base that you're trying to get into, is the whole evasion and dodging and blocking and all that. It, like I said, it's mainly, to me, when I looked at the game and when I was really interested in the game, it looked like it was Dark Souls PvP. But the only thing about Dark Souls PvP is what makes it so interesting is not really the fighting itself. It's like the whole hunting aspect of having to find somebody, and kind of disrupt their whole gameplay. That's a really interesting thing about Dark Souls PvP to me. Like in Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3, they have the arena where you can go and you can do PvP in a little arena thing, and I think that's boring. I think invasions were always better. So
yeah. Same time, I haven't really put a lot of time into it to play it, and so what do I know?
So for Honor, it's a pretty good game. If I don't know how many people are still playing it, but I guess the season 2 is coming out. Maybe people will jump back in. Maybe I'll jump back in to try these new classes and see what season 2 is about.
It really depends if you have to pay for those new classes. That's where it really
That's a good question.
Their whole stance on what was it, like microtransactions was what kind of turned me off from them. Right. When it was like, it turned out like I was like, what, like how many years to unlock everything? Or you could pay for it all, and their response was, we didn't expect everybody wanted to unlock everything. Like, are you what? What?
That's Ubisoft, dude.
Completionists. There's always people that want everything.
No, yeah, it's Ubisoft. But it says these will be available for free for all players at the start of Season 2, along with an update that will increase the maximum gear score, adjust the balance of the entire gear stat system, and introduce a new epic level of gear rarity. So that sounds actually pretty cool. Maybe I will jump back into it. I think that they kind of need to introduce new modes. The modes right now is what makes the game repetitive. The fighting's fun, the blocking and stuff is cool, dodging and rolling, locking into a hero, but after that, it kind of gets repetitive. So let's move on to our next topic here. Tech demo of canceled Star Wars vs. Assault now for free. What's this?
It was going to be a game. It was Star Wars First Assault, but it was canceled, and so they just released the tech demo. Everybody can play it now.
Let's talk about this. This sounds cool.
I haven't downloaded it. I was going to download it though eventually. Just check it out because it's free. Why not, man? If something's free, you should definitely check it out.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You can go ahead and talk about it.
Oh, like I don't.
I was gonna say, what kind of game is it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a first-person shooter.
Okay.
All right.
It was probably just canceled because of Battlefield.
I got the article up.
Pretty much.
Or Battlefront, whatever the fuck. Yeah, Battlefront.
So
Battlefront 2.
Hold on, let me.
Why are they calling it Battlefront 2?
Yeah, but they're adding a campaign, so we actually have a story.
Oh, we'll have a 6-hour campaign because EA's fucking it up.
I still play Battlefront 2.
I still play the original. Yeah.
It's so good.
Wait, there's
keep
already
a
a battle.
PS2.
Wait, there's
I
already
keep
a
a
Battlefront
Yeah,
2.
there's already a Battlefront 2, and now they're making
The DLC
EA's
for the first
Battlefront
one's
2.
not even completely out yet.
Dude, what is with these gaming companies not knowing how to name shit? Why is that a thing in gaming? Like 3D,
Somebody in a marketing
2DS
department.
XL, DS XL new is dumb. Battlefront 2, when there's already a Battlefront 2, is dumb. What the Titan?
Well, it's because they
I don't
want
know
you
if
to
guys-
buy it again.
The
Because
Titan
the
graphics cards, fucking Titan
Dude,
X,
the
Titan
Titan
X,
X.
Titan XP, Titan XP new. I mean, it's just so stupid.
Well, yeah, and then the problem with the Titan X was they were all just Titan X's.
Yeah.
And now there's finally the XP because everyone kept calling the new one XP like under their breath.
But then they released another one, which is the new
Well,
XP.
no, that's the new one. The new one is actually called XP finally. But before that, they were literally all called Titan X.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They
It's
released
awful.
another Titan X, which was the new Pascal, and that's what everyone was calling it, the Titan X Pascal or XP.
Right,
And then they
XP.
released an actual Titan X Pascal again. It's like,
Yep.
what the fuck are you doing? Enough.
It's because they realized with the last XP that only came out, 6 months ago? 8 months ago? They already realized no one will buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, the 780 Ti is just as good, and it's like $500 less.
All right.
So they had to release something to get someone to actually buy a $1,300 graphics card.
No, that I don't know. If you're like a professional and you're going into fucking computing, like deep computing, and you need something like that, you go with a Quadro. You don't go for a Titan
Yeah.
X Pascal. It doesn't make any sense. It's like a borderline gaming computing card. I don't know. It's weird.
It's a half step.
Yeah.
The half step. Yeah.
And they'll still always market them as not gaming cards, but the only people who do buy them are usually gamers.
Right. Yeah. All right. So yeah, if you want, you go pick up Star Wars First Assault. It's free and it looks kind of cool.
Well, I mean, it's a tech demo, so it's not like it's going to have any depth to it. But I mean, it's free, and you can probably play it. And it's like I said, it's a tech demo, so like 20 minutes maybe.
Right.
So why not? Why not download it?
Here, let's play a little bit of the trailer real quick and see what this is all about. 1 second. So, it's using Unreal Engine? Yeah. This doesn't look very impressive.
Well, it's a tech demo.
It looks like it's old. Like an old.
I was gonna say how old is it? I'm assuming it was canceled, so it was probably in development a couple years ago.
2013 is supposed to be released.
So it's probably from like 2011.
Actually, for a 2013 game, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. I don't know. If you're a super Star Wars nerd, you might enjoy it. Me,
Well,
not so much into Star Wars.
I think it was just basically the what Battlefront was.
Yeah.
Battlefront turned into.
Right, that
Yeah.
makes
Pretty
sense.
much.
No, it actually looks a lot like Battlefront.
That
Like
makes sense.
it's a lot like an earlier version of Battlefront. Actually, yeah, for 2013, that looks pretty decent.
Yeah. I like Battlefront. Don't hate.
Yeah, except that you had to buy it for $100.
Yeah.
True.
So then grind to be able to actually play.
All right.
Like, all of those
EA
games.
DLC.
Next.
Yeah, man.
Rumor: Bully 2 in development. Next game after Red Dead Redemption 2. This is from releases.com. Rockstar Games is notoriously tight-lipped about their projects in development as well as any future plans, but the Bully franchise is said to be next in line. According to user Yan2295 of the GTA forums, who has a history within the community of leaking accurate information, Rockstar are busy with the next Bully title, and it'll be back to school after Red Dead Redemption 2. And the second Bully game has been long rumored, with Rockstar's top brass having teased they're keen to work on another adventure in the less violent but just as crazy open world. It's considered GTA Light, given that it steers away from deadly violence and death but doesn't shy away from kids getting rough and throwing firecrackers or using mounted spud gun defenses against an invasion of jocks. Okay, so Bully is a cool game.
I was gonna say I'm excited for this if that's true.
This is
You
gonna be
remember
pretty
when-
cool.
You remember
I
when
like
the
the
original
first one.
Bully came out?
Yeah.
So
All
long
this
ago.
Yeah.
controversy, Jack Thompson
Yeah.
suing Rockstar, corrupting the youth.
I hope it brings some of that into this new bully. Like, I hope it brings some of that fucking controversy. You know what I mean?
Some of
I mean,
the
it's
new like
Rockstar.
bullying I mean, like I'd like if they went through and maybe like cyberbullying, took on some real issues with young America.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I don't expect them to take on any real issues though, because it's Rockstar.
I
Yeah.
mean,
They do a good job at making fun of those issues.
Just
That's-
be good.
that's what I
They'll
want.
be get
I
good
want them-
spray painted on the wall.
Get good.
get good. I mean, I liked Bully. I thought it was a lot of fun.
No,
Me
first
too.
one's great.
Me too.
Like that, I'm actually really excited about that.
I'm
'cause,
more.
I mean, GTA 5 still got a lot of legs underneath it, so I think that's cool to like go for that. Because I do miss that whole series. Like, I'm happy that's turning into a series now. Because I like the first game a lot.
I'm more into Red Dead Redemption 2. That's gonna be fucking huge. I'm really
Yeah.
excited about that.
It really, I think it's also going to see a PC release as well.
It
That's
is.
that'd be
Hope
amazing.
so.
Yeah.
No, it is.
That's awesome. Good. It needs to be on PC. Red Dead Redemption is one of the best games ever made. Two of my favorite games are made by Rockstar: Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto 5.
Is the original Red Dead Redemption? It's not on PC, right?
No.
I think it. No, it's not. It's not now. I don't think it.
No.
I think, I thought they did release support.
I know there was a
No.
group of people who were modding GTA 5 into Red Dead Redemption, but they got hit with a cease and desist. I
Oh
think.
right, yes, you're right. They were going to make it for PC, but it's they got.
It was
shut
like a
down.
fan project that got good
There's
old
a,
cease and desisted.
there's a Steam forums here about it. A Steam group, Red Dead Redemption for PC. I don't know. It's not out yet, but who cares when we got Red Dead 2 coming out?
I think the only way you can play it now without owning PS3 is playing it on PS Now.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That'd be a good. It's definitely a title worth playing. I mean, it's fucking amazing. It's such a great
Yeah, it
game.
really is. Fantastic.
PC is probably going to be delayed for it though.
I hope not.
Like, I mean, look, it's Rockstar. It's probably going to be.
I have no
I mean,
problem playing it on console, but
Yeah, like what GTA 5 came out almost a year after it did.
yeah, and it was well worth the wait. When it came out on PC, it got like a whole nother sales bump. That game sold extremely well on PC. Modding community just lifted it up, gave it new life. It was serious.
Isn't that when they added the first person mode
Yeah.
and stuff like that? Is when they put it on PC?
Yep.
Yeah, when
first
they-
person.
Yeah, that's pretty. I like when companies do that. Like, hey, here's the game for PC. We're also going to throw in a bunch of stuff as well.
Well, they actually did first person mode on PS4 as well. They released kind of simultaneously, I
Right.
believe. Maybe
Yeah.
the PS4 was like a little bit before the PC, but first person mode is on PC as well.
That's
I
pretty
actually have the PS4 box down here. Dropping some stuff.
cool. Right.
Ah,
Oh, there we go. Yeah, first person.
Okay.
that makes sense. All right. So, moving on, Jerry, you want to talk about this one real quick? StarCraft and Brood War are now available for free download. So it looks. Could you play online though?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
No, they're completely. No, it's the original game.
It's the full
They're
game.
Yeah, you can get it for free. Because they're working on making a remastered version, and that's actually going to be really cool.
Yeah, it is.
But you can go get the first one, the originals, for free now, and I mean it's the full game. You can play them online, like a lot of people still do, and it's just the original StarCraft.
Yeah, the StarCraft and Brood War community are actually still really strong. Like they still have a competitive scene.
Oh, sure.
Star
It's
and
actually
Brood War.
almost started to grow back to almost overtake StarCraft 2 again.
It has overtaken StarCraft 2, I believe.
Well, why now? Why is it because it's more balanced, or is it just because of nostalgia? Why is it doing so much
it
better
is
than
a little
StarCraft
bit.
2?
It's a little bit of balance issues, and it's a lot of the high-end community didn't like StarCraft 2 a lot. And the other big thing is StarCraft 2 is really big in the West, but in Korea, they're still just all about StarCraft. They hated
Interesting.
StarCraft 2.
Yeah, Korea is really the driving force behind StarCraft.
Why did they
Yep.
hate StarCraft 2? I thought it was a phenomenal game.
It was balance issues, but it was also the way a lot of the units interacted and things like that. Like some of the improvements that they did make towards StarCraft 2, which are really nice, they didn't have in StarCraft, and that became seen as a higher skill cap for StarCraft that people liked. Like micro's a hell of a lot harder in StarCraft than it is in StarCraft 2, things like that. But it's also a lot of it is the way the game is balanced and the way the units are balanced.
All right, that's cool. Brood War, StarCraft and Brood War, man, I played so many hours of that game.
And the remakes are going to be really cool too, because they're actually doing the remakes right. Like the remakes, they're not touching the mechanics at all. They're leaving it exactly the same as it is. Like what I was even mentioning with the mechanics earlier, where like you can only grab like I think it's 16 units at a time, or like a set amount of units. They're leaving that in. They're not changing the gameplay at all. They're just upgrading the graphics and like adding a couple of other things, probably like matchmaking and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool. Okay. Cool.
But like for those hardcore StarCraft 1 fans, like the game's going to be exactly the same. It's just going to look nicer and actually run better because they're going to, they're going to optimize it so it'll actually run on modern computers instead of it being made for a computer from 2000.
Oh,
Yeah.
way before that.
At fucking 1078 by fucking what is that resolution? It's like 10.
That was a weird one.
It's like 10. I don't know. It's like fucking 32-bit.
Dude, let me get my 640.
Get your Windows 98 out.
Get my 800 by 600.
All right. Yeah, I think it's 1078 by 960. I think is the resolution for that. It's a 4:3 resolution.
Yeah, right. Like those first 15-inch LCDs coming out on that.
So, a new Telltale series, Guardians of the Galaxy. Cool.
I have mixed feelings on that. I believe Telltale, they're like following a formula now a little bit too close. They just released the same thing. It's like, I know it's dialogue driven, and I really like The Walking Dead. I really like The Wolf Among Us and everything. But I believe they're just getting too formulaic now. Mm-hmm. They'll just take an IP and they're good dialogue writers and make you care about the characters, but it's just the same game. It's the same game over and over again. It's a choose your own adventure. If you're into that, they do it really well. But I don't know if I'm quite into that anymore. But I might play it though.
So it's like what you're saying. It's like the Sekiro series or whatever, those stupid visual novels. There's 30,000. Yeah, there's 30,000 versions, but it's still the same thing with just slightly different dialogue.
Well, it's not slightly different dialogue. It's significantly different. But
well, yeah, it's a different story, but it's still a visual novel following the same pattern.
Yeah, pretty much.
The fact they're doing, they did. They started with Tales of the Borderlands, and then they did the Batman one. Now we've got the Marvel one. So they're not afraid to work with pretty much anyone. What are we gonna get next?
They had a
Final Fantasy Telltale.
I was gonna say the Minecraft one.
They had a Minecraft
Telltale series.
But yeah, they started with The Walking Dead.
Which is phenomenal.
Dead.
See, their original stories I think are better. Wolf Among Us, The Walking Dead is good too because it's not following the characters from the show.
It was great.
So they can write their own stories.
Yeah,
I think sticking to their own stories, I like that better. I like originality.
I'm calling it. Rick and Morty's next.
I'd be okay with that though if they kept the humor and the writing from
in search
those
of
show writers.
In search of their Szechuan. But
damn it.
The Wolf Among Us was actually based off of a graphic novel series.
Yeah.
Dude, Rick and Morty's got to be careful because they're going a little too crazy with all this licensing.
Virtual reality game?
The virtual reality. Yeah.
People are going to get sick of it, man. It's Rick and Morty's all over the place. Yeah.
The virtual reality is good. It's just the problem with it. It's a 3-hour game. And it's like it's like $60, but it's $60 for 3 hours.
Dude, that's if you want to get into VR, get used to spending $60.
Oh no,
for 3
I know,
hours.
but the thing, that the problem with that they're running into, and some VR games also are running into, they have to figure out a way to make it longer. Just because the current trend now, especially with a lot of those games, that game in particular, people are just buying it, playing it through, refunding it. Because they can finish it before the refund time's up.
Oh, interesting. They're gonna put a stop to it. The thing is with VR, it costs so much money to make, right? Like there's a high budget even for a game like the Rick and Morty one, and you have to make that money back. You can't make like these super long kind of like titles without spending millions and millions of dollars because it's just such a new technology. I think VR is just gonna get like you're gonna end up seeing like $80 games in VR, $100 games in VR.
I would be okay with that if they were worth it.
Right. I mean, the Robo Recall, the new drop for Robo Recall, which comes with the Oculus now, is so groundbreaking. It's fucking insane how good that game is, how good the VR is, how clean and smooth it runs. And I mean, it's so promising, but it's an expensive new frontier.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it's a shame that it's cool that Rick and Morty and like the guys who are doing it, like are actually like taking on the platform and trying to produce stuff for it. I would love to see like a movie or something you really don't have to interact with. You kind of just live in their world. But yeah, the 3-4 hour thing, that's pretty much every VR title. I mean, they're just super short-lived kind of titles.
That's the biggest problem is like I've heard people joking, you know, let's make it a 4 hour and 2 minute experience. You know what I mean? Like that's literally the goal though, is the problem.
I mean,
is like people are trying to just get it just so they can't get refunded. Because there's also no point of spending that much money to make a game when half of the people who are gonna buy it are just gonna refund it.
Yeah.
Like you can't sustain on that.
No. That's pretty fucked up. People are doing that, but I suspect that's going to change. They won't allow it or something. I don't know. I don't expect that to last for very long.
At the same time, I don't know, dude. Volvo's pretty. Volvo doesn't give a shit, dude.
Good point. It's a good point. All right. What is this? What is this here? Persona 5 OST seeing a vinyl release.
Yeah.
That caught my eye.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna buy that.
Really?
Yeah,
you like the soundtrack that much?
Oh, dude, I love the soundtrack. Dude, Persona soundtracks are always awesome, man. They're fantastic. They're just really addictive. Like you listen to it so much, like Persona 4. I love Persona 4 soundtrack, man.
I disagree. I disagree.
I downloaded the soundtrack months before the game got released in the US, and I've been listening to it nonstop.
I know I'm gonna get hung for it.
So good.
There's a lot of people who really enjoy the Persona soundtrack. I am not a fan of any type of acid jazz.
Sucks for you.
I know. Playing Persona, like just grinding away and just constantly hearing that same fucking track over and over again. I'm losing my mind. I just couldn't do it for much longer.
Gotta buy the DLC. Get the other battle tracks.
I need it, dude. I will say having the vinyl would be pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of cool. I like how they're doing that. Atlas is doing some cool stuff, but I don't know if I'd listen to the vinyl all the time.
All the time? Yeah, no. But
I give it to a DJ friend of mine, be like, yo, do some fun cutting and scratching.
Play it in the club.
Play in the club.
Persona in the club. That's cool. How much is it going to be? If you're willing to plunk your money down without seeing that art, pre-orders are live now through IM8bit's website. The Essential Edition costs $100, while the Deluxe Edition goes for $175. So it's pretty expensive for a vinyl. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's $100.
Like, are they limited release?
Let's find out here. I got it up right here. It says the Essential Edition is just a 4 LP. Features track listing curated by Atlas Sound Team, including P5's most popular music. Then there's a 6 LP, which is the complete Persona 5 soundtrack of 110 songs, which has a limited pressing of 1,000. And there's a premium package. Both editions will be quality box sets, but we can't reveal packaging just yet. So you're getting like a nice package with it. So it's a lot of music. It's definitely a lot of music. It's fucking 6 LPs for the Deluxe Edition, which is a limited press. Probably be pretty worth some good money.
Give that a couple years, you'll be seeing that on eBay for at least $500 a piece.
I believe it, yeah.
Especially unopened.
Might be worth picking it up if you can get one.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, it's all about buying the Nintendo as long as you can still get it. Gotta buy the Nintendo Classics and flip those, dude.
All right.
Wait until the SNES Mini.
Oh, dude, that's my plan to pay for
Scammers,
5
man.
months of rent. JK.
Scalpers are gonna have a field day.
I'm gonna try to get my hands on one as soon as I can. I don't know
I'm
how,
just
but
I'm
I'm
just
gonna
gonna-
try.
continue with my ZS NES.
Yeah, right.
My emulator.
Yeah, the emulators, dude. I put it on my Nvidia stream box and it works fucking awesome on the TV. I don't even know if I need one. I do like to have the controller though. The whole
Yeah, I'll
experience
just,
of it.
I'll just use the Xbox controller.
Yeah.
I'll pretend.
So there's the last news topic. We're gonna skip the other ones because we're running a little behind. Last news topic: new Call of Duty.
Yeah, Call of Duty,
God
WW2.
duty. WW2.
Yeah.
I'm pumped.
I'm glad that they're going back to
Yeah.
the old wars.
I
Yeah.
like World War II. I love World War II shooting games. That's what I grew up on.
I mean,
too.
the
Medal
first,
of Honor
yeah.
series.
I was
I'll
gonna say
probably
the first
buy it.
three. I'm considering it. The first 3 Call of Duties were great. That's the problem, though. The first 3 were great.
I mean, I liked Modern Warfare 1 and 2.
Modern
Yeah.
Warfare was
After 2, I
alright,
was
but
kinda done.
I don't know, man. I got so burnt out on that after a while. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm just a little bit fearful of them just also trying to make something a little bit too crazy. But we have a trailer so far. Trailer looks good.
Yeah.
Like trailer looks damn good.
It looks like a trailer though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It looks like it doesn't really show you too much.
At the same
I
time,
like
they
Call
had to
of
fire
Duty.
back against Battlefield, dude.
I know that game, Battlefield 1's phenomenal, but I'm excited to see that the Call of Duty formula, World War II, the community has been waiting for a good Call of Duty game for a while now. Like let's go back to either Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare. We're waiting for something that everyone can get into that's balanced well, that has like a skill base gameplay. Because the newer ones kind of are just way too heavily relying upon. I don't know. There's something about it where you don't feel like you're progressing as a player. You know what I mean?
Run and gun hip fire, dog.
Yeah, exactly. These guns are just way too. You're shooting like 600 rounds a second. Let's go back to M1 Grands. Colt 911s, or 1911s. Garens. What did I say? Grand.
Yeah.
Some goers. Some fucking goers.
Some Tommy guns.
Grandpappy's gonna rise out of his grave and slap you.
I'm excited for it. Let's hope that it lives up to its name. They always have a big team though that works on them.
Yeah.
Their teams they do good work. It's just a shame that
I will say this is the first Call of Duty I'm like excited for in 2017, so at least 7 years.
Yeah.
And that's probably 7 Call of Duty games. Yeah, you know why, right? Because it's not space guns. It's not jetpacks. I mean,
it's not buy jetpacks so you can actually play the remake of the good game.
Right. All right.
The jetpacks was just why? Just why?
Dude, they just went crazy. They just they went too deep.
well, I mean, I kind of feel for them because they were releasing a game
Every fucking
year. And the community was like, okay, so you're releasing the same game, you need to do something different. And they were like, okay, well, let's just go really different and go weird and spacey. And then and then everybody was like, okay, I don't like this.
Well, the thing too is like it's a decent game. It's actually kind of fun. But the problem with it is that no one wanted to buy it. Not a lot of people did like it, but a decent amount did. But it fell into that like Titanfall kind of like realm. And then the problem is if they want a space game, they're going to play Halo. But the biggest thing is like Call of Duty just has to stop doing a game every year. Like people just get burned out way too fast of like, it's Madden syndrome, you know what I mean? Like we were talking about earlier, like why am I going to buy the same game every year? Like I'm going to spend $60 every year for the same exact game. A lot of people aren't down for that.
It would be better off as a platform.
Yeah.
Add your DLC to it, Add it
Well,
over
like that, or
time
like,
and
just
cultivate the game. But
Yeah.
when you release a game every year, you're telling the people, hey, you bought this game, you want to play the online multiplayer as well. They don't put any thought into the campaign. Campaigns are so bland.
The other thing too is that okay, it should go to at least a bi-yearly thing, because the other biggest problem that I have with Call of Duty is, since it is released every year, that multiplayer, like, it's so fucking segmented. It's so fractured, like, their entire player base. You still have half of the people playing fucking Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
Then some people are playing Black Ops 2. Some people are playing Black Ops 3 because 3 was pretty decent. Some people are playing the new one. Some people, you know what I mean?
That's a good point.
It's so fractured. That player base is so fractured because there's so many different versions of the same fucking game with minor details. Some of them I would say are better than others. Others people would say some of them are better than others, but they should just stick to, like, okay, here's, like, I don't know, DICE is doing something somewhat decent with Battlefield. There's so many fucking battle whatevers now. Like, where it's like, all right, here's a game every 2 years. That means, like, okay, cool, your player base is going to play this game instead of all of them.
I think we're going to start to see EA capitalize on their Battlefield success, and they're going to turn into the next Call of Duty, and they're going to release every year. I mean, Battlefront just came out, and they're releasing Battlefront 2 right after Battlefield 1, which is essentially the same game with a Star Wars skin. And campaign is small. There's barely no campaign. It's all multiplayer. So we'll see. I would like to see Call of Duty kind of pull everyone back into one game. Let's all play World War II, Normandy Beach. Let's get into it. I think that'd be cool. I don't have big hopes for it, but I always enjoy Call of Duty when it comes out for a little bit. I do enjoy it. I always jumping back into Call of Duty for a couple of weeks is always fun to see my skill level and to just blast away. Because all my friends, they're not like heavy gamers. They'll pick up a Call of Duty every once in a while. I'll play with them. But that really is it. I don't really go much further than that. And I think a lot of people are the same.
And that's where that becomes that issue where it's like, all right, you're paying that $60 every single year for that 2-week enjoyment.
Yeah. All right, that's it for the news. Pretty long news segment. Let's jump into Zelda. Let's talk about Zelda. Everyone's talked about Zelda extensively. There are now like thousands of channels dedicated just shut up, River. Thousands of channels dedicated just to Zelda.
Shut up, River.
It's one of the greatest games ever released on any platform ever made. And I think it's worth covering because I've been getting super deep into it.
Still holds a 97 on Metacritic.
Really?
Yep. It's insane how good of a game it is.
Let's talk about... All right, because I want to... Do you think that Zelda is doing so well because it's new with the Switch, or do you think it's the other way around, that the Switch is doing so well because of Zelda? I personally think Zelda's doing well because of the Switch.
I could say the opposite. I think that, people bought it for the Wii U. I know people who didn't buy a Switch. They had a Wii U already. They were getting Zelda for the Wii U. They weren't going to get a Switch for it because they were already getting it. The game is still that good, even on the Wii U.
Yeah, I'd say it's better on the Wii U. I was gonna say I've put in 50 hours on the Wii U version, like, because it was made for the Wii U. It's a Wii U game,
right?
I think people were going to buy a Zelda game no matter what it was for. I think that Zelda is just such a popular franchise that whenever a new Zelda game releases, except for handheld, but even though handheld they do generate a lot of traction, but console Zelda games, they're flagship titles for whatever console they're on. So I think that is why the Switch is doing so phenomenally well at the beginning, is because of Breath of the Wild.
It was smart to release the Switch with Zelda as the launch title. And a lot of people were like, oh, this, the launch lineup doesn't look that great. But then,
but there's Zelda.
And a Zelda as good and as new and as different as this one was compared to its predecessors, it really had this big change of the guard feel from what you knew Zelda was. And it still has its own charm, but it's
I'd agree with that.
And it was perfect because taking on the go, I've gone on trips to North Jersey to see my relatives. the car ride usually is kind of long, even if it's like only like an hour, hour and a half. The car ride felt like that because I brought my Switch with me and I was just playing Zelda.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what leads into the experience of this game, because like I think that the portability of the Switch and the fact that you can play these fully fledged AAA titles on it, nice, gorgeous graphics, it runs smooth, you have it in your hands. I think that's why I enjoy Zelda a lot more than I normally would. I was never really a big Zelda guy. I liked him for the Game Boy. I liked Ocarina of Time. But other than that, I wasn't like diehard Zelda. This one, the fact that I can just whip it, turn it on whenever, dive right into it, there's no downtime, and just pull out a quest or just go exploring or whatever, it's fucking awesome. It's really amazing. And I think that it's really done well for the Switch. So that's why I think the Switch kind of sold it for me, because it's just the platform that it's on. If it was on only Wii U, I'm not buying a Wii U for it. I'm just not buying a Wii U for Zelda. But
That's
because
fair.
it's on the Switch, I want the Switch. I think the portability is awesome, and hell yeah, I'm gonna get Zelda. It's gonna be an awesome experience. But that's my opinion on it, and I wanted to bring that up because a lot of people have been saying the other way around. People are buying Switches just for Zelda, and for me personally, it was the other way around, and I'm happy.
I mean, you look at the attach rate, the fact that more people have bought more copies of Zelda on the Switch than they have sold Switches.
Yep.
That just speaks to the game is a system seller, and I've always said software will sell hardware. Zelda was perfect. The only other title I can imagine they could have launched with to sell the system would have been the new Mario game. And that's coming out in Christmas time, which is perfect for their holiday sales.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be stacked.
It's going to be a booming Christmas for Nintendo.
I mean, I agree with you, but at the same time, I still think this is by far the best Zelda game ever. And like that also plays a lot into how good it is. Like they embrace the open world concept, but they not only did they embrace it, they excelled at it. It is actually just a really good game. Because like I said, I've been playing it on the Wii U as well. It's fucking amazing, even like that.
And the fact
that
it's
just a really fucking good game.
And they didn't lose any of the Zelda charm. What makes Zelda a Zelda game? It kept it. Despite how different it feels, it still feels like a Zelda game. And that marriage of new and old, it's beautiful.
Yeah, because I mean, like it's still Zelda. It's still Zelda in combat, like at least to me. But then I mean, like shit, dude, I had a huge amount of fun first time I figured out you can make food, and I sat there for 20 minutes trying to figure out how to make the best fucking food I could make.
Yeah,
it
like
doesn't hold your hand. It doesn't
Yeah.
hold your hand at all. It says here, explore, make your mistakes, fail, learn from your mistakes. I don't ever want to say it's the Dark Souls of Zelda.
I was just about to say that.
It is definitely really hard
For a
at
company
times.
that sometimes holds your hand in a lot of games with heavy tutorial sections. I'm looking at you, Mario and Luigi series. So many tutorials. This is a game that just throws you and like you get in the open world. You get to the first like place where you get cold. Right outside of it are the hot peppers. I didn't even notice them until I died a couple times.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say that's why I was like you were saying right there. That's why I'm happy it came out with Zelda, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm buying it for Zelda. I'm not gonna buy it for Mario.
Right.
Like.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think a better comparison than Dark Souls would be, it's like the Mega Man X of Zelda games. Because Mega Man X was really good about that. They didn't really do much tutorial. I think Ego Raptor had a really good video on that.
That's one of my favorite videos that they've done. It is the explanation of why Mega Man X shows you, even just from starting the game up, what you can do without bringing up all these tutorials and telling you, hey, this does this does this. No, you see it. You see, oh, this guy's coming at you. I jump. This enemy's in the air. How do I fight it? Oh, I jump and shoot. Mm-hmm. It doesn't hold your hand. It makes you learn. And Zelda not only makes you learn, but there's so many different ways of tackling different things, all the different puzzles, exploring different areas, how you get there. It's so many different options.
The reason I think
each playthrough is unique.
And the reason I think that the Dark Souls comparison doesn't really apply is because it's very much like Dark Souls in how it doesn't hold your hand and how it's hard. It's a fucking hard game. Zelda is not easy, but it's not punishing. Like, you don't feel like you're getting punished every time you die. Like Dark Souls, when you die, it fucking sucks, and you have to keep going back and going all the way back. Here, if you die, you're just like, yeah, fuck it, let's go this route and let's see where we go here. That doesn't happen in Dark Souls. There's a very rigid path that you have to go on to beat the game. And with Zelda, it's not punishing. And that's why I keep going back to it, and I'm just having a blast playing it. I'm taking my sweet-ass time. I'm not rushing it. I'm just having fun with it. And it's the fact that I can do it handheld really sells it for me. And I don't know. I'm just super impressed with what I think everyone is too. I mean, there's a reasons why this game is being called masterpiece, 10 out of 10. I think it's the combination of the game, the developing, and then the Switch and the release of the Switch, the Nintendo. They just did a masterful job of creating a really great experience for people. And it's only going to propel into the future. The sales are just going to go crazy from here on out.
They got to bring the software.
Yeah,
that's all. We're going into the third month, and the third month is where we're going to really see. And I think E3 is going to be a huge opportunity for Nintendo to either boom or bust.
And from what I'm hearing, their E3, they're not putting out a dedicated E3 panel.
They never do. They do their directs. They do the controlled environment, which is fine. I mean, I'm okay with the directs. I prefer the directs. They have the treehouse. That's where they show, all the games.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a big oh god, tech errors. Oh, we have to wait for the audience to stop clapping. No, they control it, and that control, I think, helps them because they're not dealing with an issue like when Twilight Princess happened and then the controller wasn't working. That just looks bad.
All right.
This is all under their control, and that's Nintendo. Nintendo likes to control what they show.
Yeah. I would say a big reason why I like the game too is it's huge. It's a huge fucking game.
Yeah, it
like,
really is.
If you want to, you can beat the game in less than an hour, or you can do what I did. It took me 20 hours to uncover the entire map. Like that's another huge part that's, at least to me, is really different from the past Zelda games, and I really like that about it. It's you can do whatever you want, but you can spend. I mean, there's 20 hours worth of content just to uncover the map.
Yeah.
And then the shrines, and then 900 Korok seeds, and then
there's 900.
Anywhere you see a rock, there's 900. Yeah,
there's 900.
Anytime you see a rock, you can pick it up.
Holy shit! There's 900.
The game's fucking huge, and that's a huge part of why it's really good too. I think it's been drawn parallels to Skyrim, and I think that's the reason why it's a game that's you can play it however you want, but it has enough content to do what you want and have that be fulfilling.
Before we move on, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's like the size of Skyrim, but it's packed with the content of a platformer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it doesn't feel like Skyrim. You have a lot of quests and you can walk around and stuff like that. But for the most part, besides like the random monsters and fauna and stuff like that, it feels a little bit empty.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine that Breath of the Wild, it feels like it has more content per pixel.
I will
you know what I mean?
Before we move on, I want to bring up that comparison. What do you guys think is better? Do you think Skyrim's a better RPG and just RPG, or do you think Zelda's a better RPG? I personally think that Zelda is a better open world game. Skyrim is a much better RPG. There's a lot of great RPG elements in Zelda, but it's still Zelda. It's not really a role-playing game, in my opinion, as much as Skyrim is.
Yeah, I believe that they're just in different categories altogether.
I think they're different,
Yeah, it's like
they're both open world game. They're both open world RPGs, but one's very much. I mean, okay, you're playing Link versus an open-ended, open-ended open world RPG.
Yeah,
like
Western
you can be
RPG.
anything. Yeah, it's
Western RPG. That's what it is. You create your avatar, as in that's the main difference between a Western RPG versus a JRPG. or a Japanese RPG. Is in Western RPGs, you create your avatar, and in JRPGs, they give you an avatar, and then they enrich the world around you.
Mhm.
So,
I will say I put 1,500 hours into Skyrim. I can see myself doing that in Zelda.
Same. Yeah, I think they're both amazing games on their own end, but I don't know if one's better or not. I really don't. Which is it's saying a lot for Skyrim because Skyrim is just a phenomenal fucking game.
Hey, we'll be able to play Skyrim on the Switch in the fall.
Oh, it's gonna be so
Yeah.
dope.
I'm honestly, if gun pointed to my head, I'm honestly almost starting to feel more towards Zelda. But I think that might just because it's newer to me. You know what I mean?
Skyrim's
Yeah.
been out for so long that
I've had a lot.
they've released it so many times.
I've had a lot of great moments in Skyrim. Zelda feels more of like this, almost like opening up a book and going back into a book. Where Skyrim, it really feels like I'm on like this huge, gigantic, fucking dragon adventure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel more immersed in Skyrim. Where Zelda, I feel more like I'm kind of playing Zelda. I don't know if that's for better or for worse, because they're both immense amount of fun to me. So I don't know. I haven't beaten Zelda yet. I don't think I'm going to anytime soon. But when I do, I'll make that decision.
That's okay. Actually, if we're going to be honest, that's my biggest problem with Zelda versus Skyrim, and that comparison, and why I also don't think they're also the best comparison to at the same time. I really don't like that once you beat Zelda, you're done.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't like that.
You like that finish? Like, you feel complete when you're done?
Well, I like that, but I like feeling like, okay, my character did that, but I can still go keep playing my character versus having to go back to an old save if I want to keep playing that character.
Oh, I see.
Like with Skyrim, once you beat the main campaign, you still just keep playing.
Yeah.
But once you beat Zelda, like you're like, oh, yep, end credits, you're done.
Yeah. That's it. That is interesting. All right, well, let's move on. Good job, Nintendo and Zelda. It's phenomenal. Who developed that game? Does anyone know? I forget the name. I don't remember. All right, moving on. Heroes of the Storm 2.0.
Yeah.
This is your forte, man. What's going on?
Oh, well,
I heard a lot about this.
All right, so Heroes of the Storm's been out for a while, quite a while now, and
3 years.
Yeah, it's been quite a minute, but I've never really gotten into Heroes of the Storm. I was always a League of Legends player. I preferred League. It wasn't as complex as Dota, but you still felt like you progressed like skill wise or game knowledge and choices and stuff like that. And when I tried Heroes of the Storm in beta, I didn't like how there were no items and there was no CS, so it cut down on the mechanics a little bit. But here recently, they've come out with a 2.0 patch. And what the 2.0 patch, I believe, is doing is they're trying to get newer players to come in and trying to give you more of a base ground to jump in on. But what you can do now is you can, for free, you can sign in. If you sign in before, I think it's May 22nd, they will give you 100 gems, which you can use. That's the paid currency in the game is gems. But they will give you 100 gems, which you can spend either on whatever you want, which I would not recommend because it doesn't make sense because anything you can get for 100 gems isn't going to be worth it anyway. I believe the currency is like 100 gems would be, I don't know, $1 maybe if you were converting it over to US dollars. But you can either spend it however you want, or you can use it on a bundle of champions, and there's 5 different bundles, and each bundle has 20 different heroes in it. And so they're giving you about $100 worth of paid content for free just for logging in, which I recommend you do that. And I also recommend that if you have any accounts on any different servers or realms or any like Smurf Blizzard accounts, I suggest you redeem that bundle package on every single account. But not only that, but they're changing up the way that they're doing cosmetics. They're going the more League of Legends route and Overwatch route, which you get all your cosmetics.
Yeah.
yeah, you get all your cosmetics through loot crates and loot boxes, and they give you cosmetic currency. They're called shards now. But you use that, you can't really buy skins anymore. The only way you can buy skins is if they're featured. Other than that, you have to either get them from a box or you have to craft them with the currency. So I believe like if you're heavily into free to play games, or if you don't want to spend money on games, you can do that with this. You can really do that with this now and feel like you're getting more out of your experience, because used to in free to play games, if you're familiar with the whole MOBA genre and everything, like League of Legends, you can do that in League of Legends now. You can craft in League of Legends, but used to you had to either grind out buy the champions, which were
Takes forever.
stupidly expensive per champion, and you always had to buy the skins. You could never get the skins from just playing the game. But I'm really glad that they're going in this direction. I'm kind of scared that they're following the model too closely, and they do the same thing in Overwatch, I believe, is just loot boxes and you pay with currency. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. For gameplay, there's really no changes in the gameplay. There's nothing new in the gameplay. But I think it's a good patch. Just bring in people. Just bring in everybody and get a lot of new players. I believe it's new player friendly. It's a lot more new player friendly than I would say League of Legends or definitely Dota. Dota is confusing. It is just confusing as all hell to try to get it. Jerry's our he's played the game for a while, so he probably has more game knowledge.
I mean, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I burnt out on League years ago. Like I don't know. I used to be huge into Warcraft 3, so I started playing Dota like at a really young age. I played that a lot, and then I started playing League and like when I was in beta, and got into platinum for the first couple of seasons, and then I just kind of really hated it. I played it too much, and then Riot started being Riot, and I was like, yeah, I'm done. I don't care, dude.
I think that
it's different. I like it a lot because it's like you were saying, like mechanically it is different because there isn't CS. Like there's not last hitting. Characters have a lot of life in comparison. Like it's a lot harder to kill someone or like just 1v1 someone. But the thing that really separated it to me is it's a bunch of different maps, and the maps all have their own mechanics, and I actually kind of like that a lot. Where it's like, okay, each map has its own different objective instead of your 2-1-1-1 meta. Like, I'm done with that, dude.
I think this 2.0 will really bring in a lot of new players, and I believe that this is the game for people who are either new to MOBAs and they don't want to learn all of the extreme like depths of other MOBAs. And it's also good for players who have played other MOBAs and have burned out on it and want to go back and play something different, or might want to play a MOBA every once in a while, because it's really not that you don't have to know what new items were just released in a patch. You don't have to CS. Like CSing is one of those skills that if you don't sit there and practice it for 10, 15, 20 minutes a day, then you're just going to suck at it. And if you played MOBAs for a long time and you left and then you come back, you're going to be terrible at it. You're just going to be terrible at them. But that's why I like Heroes of the Storm right now, and I've been playing a lot of it. I'm like level 30 now or something. I just started playing it again like a week ago. But it's really objective based and it's team based, and it's relying less on your individual performance and more on team fights and playing as a team and playing for objectives, which I think is really fantastic.
Maybe I'll check it out. I like MOBAs for about a day or so. I get really into them. Once I start to like actually play, I'm like, fuck, I am so bad. These guys are way too good. I do not have enough time to dedicate. I always get into them late. Like I'm way too late on all of them. Don't feel like grinding up there. So maybe this is a good chance for me to get into one.
It's fun. I do like the fact that I don't know, at high skill levels, which I mean it's not nearly as high skill level as like League was, or Dota even. Like Dota's even, I mean, sorry League fans, Dota shits on you when it comes to skill cap, but it's really easy to get into. The problem is once it does start getting into the high skill levels, like you have to know what you're doing. Like you fuck up, game's over. But the thing that's nice about that is if you fuck up, like it's a 10-minute game. That's the other thing I love about it. The games are 10 minutes, 15 minutes at most.
That's cool.
Instead of like, cool, I just
minutes.
I wasted an hour of my life wanting to kill my teammates. Like that's not fun to me anymore. I don't have that much time for that to be fun.
There's actually no cross-team chat in Heroes of the Storm, so it's a lot less tilting. If you're one that's prone to rage and being tilted, then it's easier to avoid that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, if you were thinking about starting or trying to play a MOBA, I would highly suggest playing Heroes of the Storm. We should all play.
Yeah,
all right. Maybe I will. It's
I'm down
free,
to play
right?
some League too. Yeah, it's completely free.
All right, I might download it and just try it out.
That's the thing. That's what I'm recommending to everybody who is watching this, and just anybody. Even if you think that you might not want to play it, still download it and redeem your free champions. They're giving you free stuff. Just do it because you might want to play it someday. Even if you don't want to play it right now, you can install it, redeem your 20 free heroes, and then just uninstall it right after that. That's just all I'm saying. Just do it now. Do it now because it is legitimately, it's going to save you either probably $100 or it's going to save you.
It's going to save
100 hours.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I'm going to do it now. Tonight then. I'm doing that tonight.
You have until May 22nd until it ends.
All right. Next, should we talk about these other two or should we just skip them since we don't have footage for them?
Oh, what, PUBG? And
should we wait till next week to talk about them?
Yeah, we can talk about next week.
Get into the review.
Yeah. I'm down.
Because I do want to talk about PUBG. I call it Pug.
PUBG. Little Pugglesworth.
Maybe I don't know. Because then I'll want to go get footage for it, and I don't feel like playing it. But I want to talk about it, and I want to talk about why I don't want to play it.
Well, you can talk about it and then just play one game of it.
All right, Jerry, you want to talk? You could talk about the WoW.
I'll talk about that next week.
All right,
that's fine.
All right, so let's just skip it. Let's get into reviews. And then close this out. We've been recording quite long, and I accidentally closed something that I wasn't supposed to. Uh-oh. 1 second. Fuck, motherfucker. Persona. Let's talk about Persona.
All right.
Let's review
it. Doobie's played the most, so he gets to review it.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm almost done it.
All right. Hold on 1 second. All right. So let's talk about Persona. Let's give it the review. Doobie, you've beaten it. How long did it take you?
Probably about 100 hours. Yeah, but the 100-hour mark, like you think a good old JRPG Persona game would be, really long.
Do you think it's too long?
It's certainly not a game that you want to be putting in like an hour or two a day. It seems like it's better suited for them long play sessions. It's one of the reasons why I think it would be great for a portable version of it.
Hell yeah.
To get your grinding done out of the way. I mean, it is a bit grindy. But I liked it. It did a lot of things, a lot of changes from Persona 4, which I thought was a fantastic game. It feels like a good marriage of the older Persona games from the PS1 that maybe not a lot of people played. Because Persona 3 and 4, especially 4, is where Persona's popularity in the West blew up. So Persona 2 and 1 had these it was more traditional JRPG, linear dungeons, things like that. Where Persona 3 and 4 had a little bit more of this dungeon crawling aspect. In this one, you've got linear style dungeons with puzzles in them that feel very much welcome than Persona 4 had. You've got a really nice dungeon crawling optional place that you can kind of go after. That reminds me of the main dungeon of 3, which was one giant dungeon crawl that kind of expanded as the story went on. And this one has that same thing. As the story goes on, more layers get added to it. And it's cool. That's where you go to grind. There's some other side quests in there. But I don't think it's a lot better than 3's. This time, instead of fighting shadows, because that's my issue with 3 and 4, where the enemies were really bland. They were like, oh, here's a set of cubes. Here's a set of hands. This one, no. This one, you're finally fighting the persona as enemies again, like you had in 1 and 2. And you can negotiate with them. In 3 and 4, you got new persona by fusing, but to get new persona, it was like a RNG after battle roulette game, which just really felt grindy. It's like I'm trying to get a new persona and I gotta wait until I can beat one. Now it's like I can kind of target which ones I want by aiming after them. You get to a certain level. When you do ambushes, which is a really cool thing, you can actually just automatically acquire them. You don't even have to fight. You just get them. So, I mean, it's this marriage of what's old and new. It's perfect for the 25th anniversary. It's really good if you like otaku culture, if you like Japanese culture, if you like long games, especially when you're getting your money's worth, I think. A lot of these games are 20 hours, 30 hours,
True.
maybe 40. You're getting 100 hours, and you're getting a really good story. The characters are fantastic. The locations are really cool. It's set in Japan. It's set in Tokyo. So you've got, Shibuya Square. You got different other areas. I can't how to pronounce these things, but like Akibara, like the big arcade place. You get that kind of style. You get that area.
I was going to say, typing on that, I have noticed, like, it's scarily realistic for Tokyo. Like, if you go look at pictures, it's identical.
Yeah,
like,
cool.
it's in Tokyo.
Yeah, they did a really good job because Persona 3 and 4 were more set in, like 3 was kind of in, like, a small city. It wasn't really a big city. It wasn't really a real place. 4 was kind of like a small town, like a murder mystery.
Real quick, I'm playing the video on the side, and there's the scene where he's sitting on the subway, and he's like jam packed, and he's reading a book, and it's just like fucking.
It's just like Tokyo.
Yeah, and I
they
remember
really like push that home that this is Tokyo.
There was a scene too where someone said, I think it was Morgana or someone, they were like, "Hey, this is really packed. It's really like one of those Japanese subways." And I was just like, you know what? This game really is true to, like, I feel like it, like, I used to be super into anime and loved it. And I really kind of fell out of it pretty much after Death Note. I didn't think any of them were really, they just weren't capturing my eye. I like stuff like this that has a lot of, what is it called? Slice of life stuff, kind of like half dating sim, half kind of just hanging out. And then you get like the kind of mysticism. I like that. And I feel like a lot of the animes that were coming out were just heavily mysticism or heavily slice of life. They didn't marry the two very well, which is what I liked about Death Note.
I think it still has that anime feel, though, where it's very, very over the top.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's very over the top, and
it's teen angst emotions to the max.
It's cool though. I think it's cool. I don't know.
It plays on them tropes really well, like the anime tropes. It does a really good job of them. I mean, like the slice of life stuff. I mean, you're doing your confidants, like they had social links in 3 and 4. This one, 3 and 4s are like, they were kind of cool. You got to, by talking to new people and doing these confidants, social links, you were able to power up your personas when you fuse them. This one actually gives you abilities that make sense, that are really cool things that actively, not only is the story nice and some of the different aspects of these characters' lives and how they develop is really nice to see, but like going after one character lets you recruit persona that are higher level than you. It gives you a reason to go after that character's confidant, that social link. That's a change I really like, and I really can't wait to see them do that in the future more. Like I said, characters, though, are wonderful. I love the characters. Very anime. If you like anime, you're gonna love Persona 5.
Yeah.
If you hate anime, probably
Yeah,
skip it.
hey anime, it's just not gonna be your game. But if you're an otaku, nerd, weeb like me, go ahead, pick your waifu. We'll argue waifus. Mine's Kawakami. Play the game, you'll see why.
I
love her.
I want to talk about some of the things I don't like about it. One is the there's, and we talked about this before, but you'll run into a cutscene, and then you'll walk like 2 feet to talk to someone else, and then you'll run into another cutscene, and then you'll have to like run to another room, run into another cutscene, and in between all those cutscenes are load times, or there's some kind of pause, and that really breaks up the gameplay and really stretches it on for no fucking reason. That part of the aspect really frustrates me. Also, the dungeon aspect of it is cool that it's kind of procedurally generated. I do like that. But grinding is just not my thing, man. After a while, it's fun to grind in this game to a point. Then after a while, I'm just like, all right, let's get the story going. Because the story's alluring. You want to finish the story. And it's so fucking long, and they make you grind through it. So a lot of it feels like a chore. But the game as a whole, I do enjoy it. And it's just one of those games that and you're going to have to invest a lot of time into it if you want to beat it. If you enjoy what's going on, it's just going to suck you in. But like you were saying, you get your money's worth, which is a good thing. So.
That's kind of a JRP staple, though. Grinding is a huge JRP
Look at Dragon
staple.
Quest, man.
Exactly.
Dragon Quest games are all about the grind.
Yeah.
Metal slimes, man.
And then also extremely long game times. Like if
but
you
that is
buy
due, I
a
think
JRPG,
that's due to the grind, though. I think they do it because the grind calls for it. How short do you think this game would be, or how long do you think this game would be if there was no grinding? Right? It'd probably cut it down in half. You'd probably get a 50, 60-hour game.
Well, you also Persona and Shin Megami Tensei in general, that whole series is known to be difficult. You look at Shin Megami Tensei, like I'm at the end of Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. I haven't yet beat it because I'm maxed out at my level, and I still can't even beat the final boss.
Is that for the new 2D SXL?
That's on the 3DS. You can still play that on your old 3DS.
Oh, nice.
It's a great game. Both Shin Megami Tensei 4 and Apocalypse are great, but you get to the end of those games, and the enemies, the bosses, you really got to start to really think, and you have to build proper.
Right.
They're hard, and they ramp up that difficulty, but they expect you to grind to get there.
Yeah, the whole SMT universe, it's just all about difficulty. That's what it is. It's more mature themes and difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can be level 60 going against something that's level 30, 35, and if they use a skill that you're weak to, you might wipe.
Yeah.
That's how you gotta know. You can't just breeze through the battles a lot. There are some places where you can cheese, and I will say that there is one persona that knows certain things, that like one dungeon where things didn't have weaknesses, I utilized that to kind of breeze through it.
Right.
But you gotta really kind of pay attention to the enemy types, what skills they know, what skills you have.
Oh, also,
it's a management.
Last thing that I don't like about it is the saving of it. You gotta save all the fucking time, and you can only save in certain areas.
That's JRPG for you.
Fuck, is it so frustrating? I don't want them to do that anymore.
You can ask Loco how many times I've bitched at him about Persona 4. I forgot to save after 3 hours.
Oh, I can't believe that.
Yeah, no, when you play JRPGs and just RPGs in general, you have to save scum. Every time I've developed this thing where every time I'm close to a save point, I'll save, and then I'll sit there for a second. I'll be like, wait, did I save? And then I'll save again. I saved like 2 or 3 times. Every time.
Wayne, I will tell you, Wayne, that the boss fights, if you die on boss fights, it actually will ask you, do you want to retry from the fight?
Oh, okay, that's good.
So it's like, if you die during the dungeon, yeah, you got to go back. But if you get to the boss of the dungeon and you die, it at least goes, hey, do you want to retry that instead of having to sit through all the cutscenes again?
Right.
And that's a nice addition. I do like that. I had to use that on one boss 3 times because baton pass is a thing you really need to do in one fight.
Well, that's another aspect that I kind of enjoy is that the baton pass and the tactics of it is really balanced well. It's fun. But there's just that it feels like like these Japanese RPG games, they drag them on for no reason. Like the saving aspect of it, the extreme amount of grinding you got to do, the stupid cutscenes that you kind of got to sit through. The fact that you have to press X through every piece of dialogue, you can go in and change it. But I didn't know that for the first few hours. I'm fucking like just slamming X trying to get through all these cutscenes I've ever seen.
If you want to just skip the cutscenes, just either press the fast forward button. You can breeze right through them, or you hold triangle and you can kind of go through it that way.
That's true.
That's if you're just like, they're nice if you die and you have to go through cutscenes again. It's nice to have. You can just skip through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best thing that visual novels ever gave us. It was the option to just
fast
text.
forward.
Yeah, auto text. Yeah.
Thank God Phoenix Wright had that.
That's enough Persona. Last thing I want to talk about. The last review. Mario Kart Deluxe. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say out of about like a score of 10, what would you give it, Doobie?
I'm giving it like a 9.25. There's a few little things here and there that hold it from a 10, but for me it is the best Persona game to date.
It's fair. That's a good score. It's about pretty much on par with everyone else is saying, especially those who really are loving that game. I would say it's a good 8.5, 9. I wish I was a little bit more into it, or I knew more about the lore of it all. I think I'd enjoy it a lot more. But it's fun. I've been loving it. All right.
Sounds like we just need to get you some JRPGs.
I need to get more.
Give you a list.
List
of JRPGs.
I got a list.
He's got a list already. The only ones I've really been
nerd,
into
man.
It was Final Fantasy. What are some other ones that are pretty popular? Mostly all the popular ones.
I was gonna say, buy a 3DS for right now until they're all out on the Switch.
I'm gonna go get a 2D SXLLMX.
PlayStation 1 was the king of JRPGs, though.
That's the truth.
The PlayStation 1 will always be the JRPG machine.
All right,
now I just play them on PC, so I can just hit F1 to auto save and skip everything.
No, let's talk about Mario Kart Deluxe. Fuck, is it good on the Switch, man? Me and Kate were playing it all weekend. We were having a blast with it. It's good. Mario Kart 8, a phenomenal game that everyone's played already. And then adding it to the Switch, the battle mode, they actually added like real arenas now, and it couldn't have came at a better time. I think it could either have came at launch would have been great, but the fact that this is the second pretty much big Switch game that you're getting, I'm happy with it. And at first I was really bad, but now I'm fucking the best Mario Kart player to ever live, and it's cool, man.
I'm pretty sure a 15-year-old in Japan wants to fight you on that.
I'll fucking race him any motherfucking day.
I feel like you have to try really, really hard to fuck up a Mario Kart game, though. Like it.
Dude, you'd be surprised. Online, dude, it's...
Well, yeah, online, but like that's not really the Mario Kart experience. The experience is like dusting a motherfucker when you're like within arm's length of them. That's the experience of Mario Kart.
Ruining friendships.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, it's a frustrating game. Like when you're online and you're playing and you're just like smoking everyone, right? You're drifting, your lines are perfect. And then you just get blue shelled, red shelled, and then green shelled, and then you're last place and you fucking lose right before the finish line. That shit is frustrating. But I think that adds to the game as well. It's so addicting. It's just a really addicting game. And the Switch makes it even more addicting because now you can fucking play anywhere you want. And I don't know, man. I'm super pumped on the Switch. I've never been this pumped on Nintendo ever in my entire life. And
not since the N64, man.
I'm pumped. I wasn't even an N64 fan. I had one, but I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I was more of a PS2 guy. PS1. But fuck, man, this is the Switch is an awesome console. I can't wait for Smash Bros. I think that's gonna change the game.
I'm excited for that and Splatoon. Those two games are like they will make that console 20 times better, I think.
I'm honestly looking forward to ARMS. The more I see of it, the more I want to play it. And it seems like a better fully fleshed out actual like Wii boxing, but this time with it's fun.
Yeah. There's like a tactic to it, right? There's like a
Yep.
skill to it. So that anytime that's there, it's warranted. It's pretty cool.
I
got
do
a
think
lot-
if they
it's-
keep releasing games like that too, that are, I mean, they expand on that portability.
Right.
Like, I know they got a lot of shit, and I gave them a lot of shit for the stupid commercials of like, yeah, take it to a party, but it's like, no, that's actually kind of great if you can not take it to a party, but just take it to your friend's house and like actually like have a really cool game that you guys can just sit there while you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yep.
Mario Kart, you and a friend just hand off the Joy-Con to them, and you just play on the Joy-Con if you want to.
Yep. All right.
It's that the fact that the system's built in with 2 controllers.
Yeah. And it's not like a bad experience. Like the Joy-Cons are nice. They work, right? It's not ideal, but I don't have a Pro controller, and I'm perfectly happy with the device. Screaming, raving about it. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, if I were to give it a score, it would probably be 9 out of 10. I wish there was more modes, like different kind of gameplay modes, and it was a little bit more fleshed out in terms of that area of gaming. But other than that, it's just a fun, addicting game for the Switch, and anyone can play it. Anyone can jump into it. It's just fun, man. I'm just so pumped on the Switch. I can't wait to see more stuff coming out of it. What would you say about it, Doobie? First of all, real quick, I'm watching you play, and you're actually pretty good.
I played a lot of Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. I will say that the 200cc on the Switch, I feel like, is actually better. I don't know why, but I feel like I can actually drift better.
Yeah.
I feel like I understand the concept better of drifting and braking, which, by the way, is really hard.
Mm-hmm.
See me running into walls because I don't get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think adding the battle mode was fantastic. That really sets it apart from Mario Kart 8. This isn't just a port. You're getting a pretty good. You're getting probably the best battle mode I think since like N64. I'd put it 9 out of 10. You know, the lack of unlockables. Everything's kind of unlocked at the beginning. All the characters are unlocked. I don't really like that. But it comes with all the DLC. It's really, hey, we know you missed Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. You're coming back to Nintendo. We're going to give you the Mario Kart 8 game that was really good, and we're going to add a little bit to it. And these are a lot of people playing it for the first time and realizing that I think it's the best Mario Kart game since Double Dash. And the deluxe version is better than the one on the Wii U.
Can we expand on something real quick? Whatever happened to unlockables, and they're just being replaced with DLC now? Used to in every game when you would beat something, like you would beat a mode with
you can unlock
with a racer, you would either unlock another racer, you would unlock this, or you would unlock that.
Now
like
it's just completely replaced.
Yeah, now it's just completely replaced with DLC, and that's all it is. Like you don't unlock anything, you just pay for it, and that's it. Or you get it for free later. I want to earn it. I want to feel like I earned it. I want to beat it. I want to beat 200cc with like baby Mario and get like Wario or a baby Wario skin or something like that.
Yeah,
really
Smash on the Wii U. They still had the unlockables. You still had to play through the game.
Mode.
But they also did have your DLC characters. When you bought Cloud, you got Cloud. You didn't have to do anything to get Cloud. You just got them. And I'm afraid if they do the Smash 4 Deluxe, that everything's going to be unlocked, and that's going to kind of take away from it. I like unlockables.
I'm watching you slam into these walls in this motorcycle. You're just running into walls, but you're flying with dry bones.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite. I've been digging Dry Bones. That's been my character on the plane. He's one of the new characters.
Yeah,
they brought in.
He's good. I don't know. I think it just. I don't want like more ports. I want more fully fledged games. I would like it if this was like a completely new Mario Kart. That'd have been cool. I'm sure we're gonna get one in the future. Who knows how long it's gonna take? But like I was saying in the beginning of the show, it runs at a solid 60 frames per second in your hand, 2 people playing at the same time. It's phenomenal, man. It's a really great experience, and I think it just sells the Switch even more. This Switch is gonna be a huge, huge powerhouse console. And I think Nintendo needed it so they can release more bigger titles and get better funding for shit in terms of not funding, but more trust from like the hardcore gaming community and to get them into more adult themed games. Because right now I feel like they've been catering so much towards that family friendly vibe. They're missing out on a lot. But now I think they have a reason to get out of it.
Anyone remember that when that first shooting game was coming out for the Wii, and they just advertised it that you'd use your little Wiimote like a fucking gun, and that's how you were gonna fucking play this game? Like I'm happy they're not doing that shit anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think all that stems from lack of third-party support because Nintendo consoles have always been like heavily supported by just Nintendo, and Nintendo, they do not make mature rated games, or you don't even really need a mature rated game. You just need a deep game,
right,
to pull in the hardcore audience.
So that's going to be the make or break, is if they can pull third party support.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we'll see. They're, like I said before, they're working with NVIDIA. They're working with Unreal Engine 4.
I think Unreal is going to be open the world.
Dude, working with Unreal Engine 4, the fact that the Snake Pass team, which was a fun game, they were able to get the game pretty much working on the Switch in a week.
It's crazy.
That's insane. You don't hear that. So you've got a ton of games coming out in the future with parties that work well with Nintendo lately, like Square, that are making games in Unreal Engine 4. There's really nothing stopping them from bringing them over.
Yep. We're going to see. No, I'm telling you, man, the Switch is going to be this huge. Once more people get it in their hands and these developers see that portability, the fact that you can create a game and not rely on the extreme 4K graphical fidelity or the intense audio production, you're just relying on the game. You're going to get a whole bunch of just awesome titles that you can just play wherever. And that's the whole fun of it all on the Switch, is that like you just hop right in anywhere you're at. It's cool. It's different than a Game Boy. It's not a Game Boy, right? It's like a console in your hand. And I think they need to sell it more like that.
Software sells hardware.
Yeah. Yeah. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, just another reason to go get the Switch if you're a huge Mario Kart fan. And I think that's
Mario.
I think Mario. Fuck you guys.
It's a Mario.
All right, let's close the show. We've been streaming for mad long. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you hit us up on Twitter at NoLife's Gaming. And you can check us out over there as well as here on our YouTube channel. Expect this show to come out every Tuesday. We're not doing it live. It comes out on Tuesday, edited, nice and tied up in a nice little bow for you. And you'll see more videos coming up on the channel that aren't the show. You'll see more just random videos that we put up about gaming and tech and other stuff, reviews. You'll see. It's going to be pretty cool. We hope you come along the ride with us and say thank you, guys.
Hey, appreciate you watching.
Yeah, no, it's been fun. I'm looking forward to keep doing this.
I'm loving it. I'm looking forward to the future.
I think we got something good here. All right, guys. We're out of here.
We're out of here.
Peace.
We're out of here.
We're just gone.
How am I going to edit that? All right, let's do it over. I need to really make something I can edit.
Just say we're out of here. Just
all right.
Out.
All right, ready?
Peace out, Boy Scout.
All right. We're out of here. Peace out, Boy Scout.